Welcome to reviewing this. Today we are going to be reviewing the LIFX LED Strip. So I picked this up 2 days ago at Best Buy. I was just walking around looking for a new keyboard. I noticed this sitting on the shelf. Now I had no plans to buy this, at least for a couple of weeks. I've had my eyes on LIFX light bulbs because my wife and I, we just moved into a new apartment. I thought to get some of these regular bulbs fitted with the LIFX bulbs, but when I saw this on the shelf and knowing that I did want to have an LED strip in several different places in the apartment, I figured I might as well pick it up. So I paid $100 for this one, and as you can see right here, it does say only at Best Buy. I'm not sure why it says that. I'm sure you could pick it up online with no issues. So this is the LIFX Experience, which is basically the power supply and 3 1-meter cables, or LED strips. So if you buy the regular LIFX Z, you basically get the power supply and also 2 strips. This one has 3 strips. This is how the packaging looks like. It comes in a pretty solid looking package. Just has regular, it just tells you that it works in iOS, Android, connects a standard power socket. You can schedule your lights, bright and vibrant colors, and so on. How bright it gets. So when I open this up, let me just show this. I mean, there's nothing in here right now since I have it set up behind me. It's not on yet. We'll get to that in a moment. So basically the strips are coiled up inside these plastic trays. There's one tray. There's a second tray. The third tray. And finally, it was simply the power supply right here. Now when it came to setting it up, pretty easy. All I had to do was connect to the LED strip Wi-Fi network. Once I did that, it then asked me to connect to my own Wi-Fi network, which is what I did. And by doing that, I was able to get those lights to work on my Wi-Fi network, to work through my phone. That's all it took to really activate it. And I was good to go. So maybe it took me like 2-3 minutes, nothing too crazy. So the strips behind us, they're basically placed right under the cabinets all the way throughout. We're going to put them on right now so we can take a look and see. I'll also get a close-up of my phone so you guys can see how the app itself works. You do need the app to use this, by the way, and you do need a good Wi-Fi network. If, let's say, your Wi-Fi tends to go down quite often here or there for several hours at a time, even a day or two, it shouldn't, but let's say it does, and honestly these sort of lights are not for you, because if the light is on, and the Wi-Fi network goes off, you can't control them anymore. Granted, I can pull them out of the outlet in this case, right? So I'm not sure if you can see this on camera, but the power supply, it goes right into an outlet on the right-hand corner over there. So let's put the lights on. There they go. Keep in mind there's a decent bit of light in this room right now, so I'm not sure how bright it comes up. I actually increased the brightness so you could get a better idea of how it looks like. I'm gonna go through a few colors right now, real quick, so you guys can see. There's some greens. I'm just using there's like a pinwheel that you move around. I'll get a close-up of this also. There's some orange, some yellow. I mean, as they say, there's, I think, maybe millions of colors. I think that's what they said. I'm sure there is. And again, you can dim them if you need to, increase the brightness. And then they constantly mention how many different whites they have, the brightness of them. So let's say, I believe this might actually be one. Well, this is actually a nice blue ice, as you can see. This is also at maximum intensity. Again, keep in mind there is light in the room. This is basically like a cool daylight. This is a soft one. This is just regular daylight. This is noon daylight. A lot of options, in other words. Then we have themes. Themes are basically pre-selected color schemes that are chosen for you. So let's say we take one that is called Exciting. Notice how we may have some purple there, some blue, some green, orange, green, blue, pink, purple, orange, purple. You can create your own themes, really. Get to that in a second. And then lastly, there are effects. there's an effect such as color cycle, right? So if we click color cycle, what ends up happening is that these colors will cycle. Exactly that. So as you're looking, they're going through different, everything's changing, different colors. It's pretty nice. The only thing is that the app needs to run in the background when you use any of the effects. Then we have Spooky. Spooky, I'm not exactly sure how it works just yet. If I'm not mistaken, it simply flickers. So there you go, like that. That's all it does, it just flickers. Then you have Strobe. Pretty interesting. If we look at it right now, that's what it does. It's not for everybody, especially if you have a medical condition. Still pretty cool, not bad. And keep in mind, for all these effects, you could actually control a lot of things. Like for the strobe feature, by the way, I can control the brightness, I can control how often it's pulsing. For the color cycle, same thing. You can give it a segment to cycle in between. You have candle flicker, which is basically just that. It just flickers. If that's for you, you can change the color that it's flickering off. So let's say we select this, and then we go back to candle flicker. There you go. Pretty nice. Lastly, the last one is music visualizer, and we'll get that in a second. I have to get some music on. Actually, I'll get the music going off my phone right this moment. So this could be music visualizer. We're gonna select, let's say we're gonna take, I'm trying to think of what color to take for music visualizer. Okay, let's go with this. Let's go with this tone and get some music on. Notice they were flickering along the music. For the music visualizer, it reads the volume coming off your microphone. I found it best to be used if I have, let's say, music coming off my laptop or my speakers, let's say television. Simply place my phone next to it. It's going to react much more. Notice how in the beginning it really didn't do much. Place it next to an actual speaker, you're going to see it start popping. Still cool feature. So let me show this all up close. Now that we got a good idea of how it looks in the background, I'm going to show you how this looks up close. So I'm going to delete the whole app, not delete the whole app, but take it out of my background, and let's do a close up. Okay, so this is how it looks at first. So notice I only have one light put in here. I only have one set of LED strips there, meaning I have three, but I put that on the kitchen, as you can see right about here. So if I click on the button, it turns it off in the background, as you can see. If I click on the actual name, it brings me to this screen. So the first screen is, you can just change the colors as you go. So either you scroll the pinwheel, or this dot over here if you want to select the color in between. So obviously if it's up there, it's only going to take colors all the way to the edge. If you move it towards the bottom, it'll take colors more inside, which tend to be brighter, as you can see. This right here controls the intensity of it. So if we pull it down, it dims it. Go up, it increases the intensity. Whites, this is the section for whites. Pretty self-explanatory, same thing. You just go around the pinwheel, select the intensity of it. Themes, that's what I spoke about, the preset color schemes they give you. This is, tranquil, as you can see in the background, it's blurry, but that's because we have the focus on the phone at the moment. We have dream here, there's a bunch. They just added Santa and Holly overnight in Hanukkah. This wasn't here, so that's pretty cool that the developers are actually adding new themes as the months go by. And one cool thing I want to point out, so let's just take a random color here. Let's just take this blue right here. You can see the blue bar. What we can do, we can actually add our own colors to it, in a sense creating our own themes. So let's say we want to add some red to this blue. We select the red right here, let's bring it to the middle, and just by doing this right here, see, we added some red in the middle, and in the background you could actually see where it is over there. Again, it's blurry, can't see too well, but you can still get an outline of where the red is. If we want to put some green in the corners, you can see the green over there, and there's a green over there if it wasn't blurry. Actually, I could maybe refocus on the background. There you go. So you can actually see the green, you can see the red, you can see the blue, which is what we spoke about. Okay. Last one are the effects. As we spoke about, here they are, candle flicker. Now, when you use these effects, so say candle flicker, it will use it off the color that you chose over here. Notice how it's flickering. So if you want to have a red flickering, you might as well choose a red color, like that. Go to effect, click candle flicker. It's going to flicker, and also the intensity, by the way, will be controlled here first, and then you'd go and you click the effect, and now we have our lights flickering red. Looks pretty sweet. And you can also control the pulsing of it if you do want to control how it flickers. Press right here. So here's the speed and the amount of brightness variation between when it dims up and when it gets brighter once again. And then again, the strobe hold, we demonstrated once again. There's always a warning that pops up before you're able to use the feature, but if we click on it, it will always do this in white. Keep that in mind. Altogether, it's a pretty cool product. I do plan on purchasing a few more strips, putting some behind the TV drawer, behind my computer setup. It's up to you how you want to place it. We had an option of placing it above the cabinets or in the middle of the cabinets. The reason why we went to the middle of the cabinets is simply because it then has a functional use. We actually have two light bulbs up here, regular ones. It may not be in the camera frame, but it's up there. We haven't really been using this whatsoever ever since getting these lights implemented, because they actually do provide a good amount of light. So that's pretty sweet. It's $100, pretty steep. You know, it's one of those gimmicks that's basically kind of a luxury. You do not need it, but it does make the place look good. Thank you for listening to this review. Hopefully you can make the right decision as to whether or not the LIFX LED Strip is the right product for you. Thank you.